Let's understand today about options. We have studied derivative consists of forwards, futures, options and swaps. Now I very clearly explained you about the forwards and futures. Now let's understand what is an option. Option is also an agreement between two parties. The seller is called an option writer and buyer is called an option holder. Okay. So there are two types of option. One is call option, another one is put option. Now what is a call option? A call option is an option to buy. What is a put option? A put option is an option to sell. Okay. Let us understand this particular option with an example. Okay. Now let us understand there is A and B, okay, or buyer and seller. Now if we both enter into an agreement to buy an option, okay, a call option, okay, there will be a call option is an option to buy, okay, whereas the person who's selling the call option, for him it is compulsory to sell. For the buyer it is an option to buy, or he need not buy, whereas in the seller he has to compulsorily sell in the case of a call option. What is in the case of a put option? A put option, the buyer of the put option has right to sell. Okay, either he can sell or he need not sell, whereas the buyer of the seller of the put option has to compulsorily buy. Okay, that is the logic of an option. In the case of an option, there will be a buyer and seller. In the case of a buyer, he will have an option to buy or need not buy. He will have either an option to buy or an option not to buy. Whereas the other party has to compulsorily conclude the contract. Other person has to compulsorily sell or buy. Now this is called option contract. Now, as I very clearly told you, in the case of an option contract, there will be two types of option. One is call option, another one is put option. For a call option, there will be a buyer and seller. For a put option also, there will be a buyer and seller. Okay. In the case of a buyer, we call it as option writer. In the case of a seller, we call it as an option holder. Okay. Now we will understand each thing one by one. What is a call option? A call option is a right to buy an asset at a predetermined price on a particular date. If the asset price is higher than the strike price, okay, we call that as option in the money. If the asset price is exactly at the strike price, we call that option as at the money. If the option price is below the strike price, option is out of the money. Okay, we will understand what is this in the money, at the money, out the money. Okay, now before understanding at the money, in the money, out of the money, we will understand what is the strike price. Okay, now what is the strike price, what is the current market price, and what is the option price. We need to understand three things to understand what is in the money, at the money, out of the money. Okay, now this is all a basic part of the options. Okay, now even in the call option, there will be in the money, at the money, out of the money. Even in the put option, there will be in the money, at the money, out of the money. Okay, now let's understand what is the current market price. We will take in one example and understand. Let us say you are buying a Hindustan Unilever share which is trading at 2000 rupees today. We call that as current market price. Okay, no doubt Hindustan Unilever, if today it is trading at current market price, we call that as the current market price. Now we are buying this particular Hindustan Unilever after 3 months, okay, at the price of 2200. Okay, at the price of 2200. Now what is this 2200? This 2200 is the strike price. Okay, now what is it is currently trading? 2000 rupees. Now just imagine after 10 days, the current market price goes down to 1800. Okay, 1800. Now did you make the loss or profit? Yeah, you made the loss. Okay, you thought price will go up and you bought it for 2200 after 3 months, whereas the price after 10 days actually gone down 1800. So which means there is a loss of 400 rupees. Okay, now you understand what is the strike price, you understand what is the current market price. Now if you see the difference between these two, okay, that we call as in the money, at the money, or out of the money. In the case of this Hindustan Unilever, if it is 1800, in this case what has happened, the asset price, that is the current market price, has gone down or less than the strike price. So what we call it as out of money. Okay, there is a loss means out of money. Let us assume the current market price of the Hindustan Unilever actually shorted up to 2500. You bought it for 2200. Now imagine you, if somebody sells to you at 2200 rupees today, you can sell it at the market price at 2500, which means you made a profit of 300 rupees. So therefore in this particular case we call that as in the money. Okay, now if the strike price and the current market price is the same, we bought it for 2200 and the current market price is 2200, what do we call that as at the money. Okay, now imagine now you're a buyer of a call option. Okay, you're a buyer of a call option, or you're a seller of a call option, any option. Yeah, for that matter, logic is very simple. We have to predict what will happen in the future. Okay, we will buy something at the future price, at a future rate, at a future price. Now if that comes true, okay, we make profit. If that doesn't come true, we make loss. You understand? So in order to reduce this loss, we buy something called call option, because we need not have to compulsorily buy. Okay, so in order for you to give that option, the option seller will charge some money. That money is called option premium. You understand? So we will understand now how do this option premium is valued and what is the payoff metrics, all this thing with the problem. But for the moment, we understand what is a call option. A call option is an option to buy, okay, whereas the seller of the call option has to compulsorily sell. Okay, a buyer of the call option will either have an option to buy or he will have an option not to buy. We call that as a call option. Okay, now fairly we have understood what is a call option, in the money, at the money, out of the money. Now we will go and understand what is a put option. What is a put option? A put option is a right to sell an asset at a predetermined price on or before a specific date. If the asset price is lower than the strike price, we call it as in the money. If the asset price, that is the current market price, exactly at the strike price, we call it at the money. If the asset price is higher than the strike price, we call it as out of the money. Now we have understood the call option also, we have understood the put option also. Now we will understand little bit a terminology, that's all. See, in the case of an option, we need to only understand 4 things. This 4 thing also we can dissect into 2. Okay. In option, how many types of options are there? Call option, put option. What is call option? Right to buy. What is put option? Right to sell. Okay. Now, if this is one product. Call option is one product. Put option is one product. Now, for a call option to be traded in the market, there must be a buyer and a seller. There will be somebody who will sell the call option. There will be somebody who will buy the call option. Now, the fellow who is selling the call option, for him, it is compulsorily to sell. Is compulsorily has to conclude the contract. Whereas in the case of the buyer of the call option, he will have the option to buy or he will not have an option to buy. Now, for that, he has to pay some premium to the seller of the call option. Are you able to understand? He will pay some premium to the seller of the option. Okay. Now we have understood what is the call option, put option. There will be a seller and the buyer for call option. There will be a seller and the buyer of the put option. Okay. What is a put option? Right to sell. What is call option? Right to buy. Okay. Now, before understanding the problems on the call option and the problem the put option, problem on the future, problem on the forward, slowly you will understand a lot of theoretical concept while solving the problem also. Okay. So before that, we will understand another terminology called American option and European option. What is an American option? American option can be exercised at any date up to the expiry date. What is a European option? Can be exercised only at the expiry date. Okay. So in India, whatever we are trading, we are in the option markets. Most of it is an American option, which means what? Once you buy the call option or the put option, it will be traded in the stock market. Though we buy it at a 3 months ahead, today also it will be traded. So which means you can settle it. You can settle it that even today also. That we call it as an American option. Okay. Now we will understand how, in the case of an option, profit and loss is calculated. As I very clearly told you, in the case of a call option, there will be somebody called a seller, there will be somebody called a buyer. Okay. The seller of the call option will receive something called option premium. The buyer of the call option will pay the option premium. For the buyer of the call option, he has to pay the premium. So therefore, for him, an option premium is an expenditure. For a seller of call option, since he is selling the option, for him the premium which he will be collecting will be profit, income. Okay. Not only this one thing is called income and expenditure, they will also have something called difference between the strike price and the current market price. We call it as a profit. Now let us understand this with an example. Okay. Now I will give you one basic example. In this particular PPT, there is an understanding about the bond market. Now I will give you very simple example. Okay, let us say you are buying a call option of a HUL share. Okay, what is a call option of HUL share? HUL share today is trading at 2000 rupees. We will buy an option to buy the HUL share after 1 month at 2100 rupees. So you are paying 100 rupees more. Please understand, you are buying the call option at 2100 rupees. Today what it is trading? It is trading at 2000 rupees. Now why do you paying more 100 rupees after 1 month? Because after 1 month the price may go up, right? Now you are thinking the price may go up for 2300 or 2400. On what basis? You are valuing the company. Okay, you are valuing the company, and based on the value of the company, you determine that after 1 month it will go up 2300. So therefore you are planning to buy at 2100 after 1 month today only. Okay. Now why? If somebody has agreed to sell you for 2100, if the price goes up for 2300, you can make a profit of 200 rupees. Correct? In order to buy this option, see, if the price goes down, you don't need not buy. You just forget about the contract, but you would have paid the option premium. Premium, let us assume for the moment, is 50 rupees. Okay. Now let's take 3 scenarios. Okay. Today what is the HUL is trading at 2000 rupees. Okay. After 1 month, you bought it for 2100. Okay. Now let us say there is a possibility of the HUL share becoming 1900. So which means 2000 minus 1900. Okay. So you lost 100 rupees, and you also paid a premium of 50 rupees. So total loss is how much? 150 rupees. Let us say the HUL share after 1 month becomes 2500. In that case, you made a payment of 50 rupees for premium. Okay, to the seller. And now if you buy that for 2100, the price is 2500, you made a profit of 400. From this 400 rupees, you minus that 50 rupees and you made a profit of 350. Okay. Now I'm saying all this profit and loss account from the perspective of the buyer of a call option. Please understand, I'm not giving you the payoff metrics of the seller of the call option. We will come that later. Okay. Let us say in the case the price becomes 2100. 2100, you bought it, and the strike price also 2100, correct market price 2100, but you would have made a premium of 50 rupees, and the loss for you is 50 rupees. Okay, this is what we call it as payoff metrics. Your problem will be to calculate the profit and loss from the perspective of the call option buyer, from the perspective of the call option seller, the perspective of put option buyer, put option seller. In all this case, you have to work out a simple basic arithmetic profit and loss. Okay. Now I explained you about the profit and loss in the case of a option, and finally we will understand why people use option. Very similar to what I said in the forward or future. It is basically used for the purpose of hedging. Hedging means kind of an insurance. Okay. Now, why people use options? As I very clearly told you, when you sell some goods to somebody in America, okay, you might have invoiced in today's dollars, but after 1 month, the dollar may go up or the dollar may come down. So, therefore, this particular invoice, if you have to hedge, you go to the currency future market and you sell it or buy it in today only, so that you don't have any problem whether it will go up or not go down. We call that as a hedging. Okay. I'm again and again giving you the concept of hedging by using an international trading. Okay. You might have studied this in the international finance also. Okay. So that you will understand. Okay. Now, similarly, there will be a large number of people who will speculate to the price, and for them, it is just making profit. Okay. So these are the various reasons why people buy the put option, the call option, and all these things. Okay. Now we have to now, as I told you, somebody if is selling the call option, he will collect some premium. This premium, how it is valued? One problem will come in the examination. We call it as option valuation. Okay. There are many methods.